Ine-san.
Ryo-san, I'm alright, but Hazuki-sensei...
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at experiences that have us dragging ourselves through them, just to see what happens. These are 10 bad games with a great story. Bad gameplay, good story. Is it worth it? You decide. Let's go. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Marvel's Avengers.
We see it all around us more and more every day. People with power punching down. But the Avengers weren't like that. I believed it in my core.
Our hopes couldn't have been higher for this one. Don't forget, this game dropped a year after Endgame, so Marvel was at its peak. Unfortunately, Marvel's Avengers, the game, failed due to a mix of poor game design, excessive monetization, and overall pretty weak content. This, however, did not include the story, which held the game together long enough for players to get through the single-player campaign, which had so much potential. Don't get us wrong, the game had a handful of solid combat mechanics, but they were hard to appreciate next to frequent bugs and progression that felt basically pointless. Support stopped in 2023, and the potential of this IP was wasted.
Guess you saw that coming, huh?
You think you've won?
What the hell are you talking about?
Look around, Romanoff. The world will remember this day.
Mafia III.
You know that house we've been renting out? Called over there last night. Told them I wanted to sell it.
I never played the Mafia games when I was younger, but with the Mafia 1 remake, I was blown away and had to play the whole series. I wish I just stopped at 2. Mafia 3 received mixed reviews, not just from me, but from the general public. It's undeniable that the game has a gripping narrative, a strong protagonist, Lincoln Clay, and bold themes tackling racism and revenge in the 60s, a great era for Mafia narratives. However, its repetitive mission structure, lackluster AI, and technical issues such as bugs and performance problems took it from a 10 to probably a 6. It also suffered from the unbelievable faux pas of having a boring open world. If you can't fill your open world, just go linear.
Guys over at Nam who were running it wound up pissing off the wrong person. Got their throats cut.
Shit, man, I know what's what. That's why I'm talking to Georgie about it.
Nia. Nia featured fascinating world building, blending primitive and futuristic technology to create a setting unlike any game that had come before it. While the story followed the familiar premise of a man seeking a cure for his sick daughter, it twisted this concept in pretty unexpected ways. The game also delivered some of the most compelling endings in hack and slash history. You know what else it delivered? Dog shit combat. I'm sorry, I'm being hyperbolic. It was still a fine game, I guess. However, its strengths were undermined by dull side quests and... oh god, don't say it. Come on, Matt. Don't say it. Dog shit combat. Oh, I did it again. I'm so sorry.
What's the matter with this misery? Talking book and moving statues?
Clive Barker's Jericho.
I think that I'm in him. Put those away, damn it. It's me.
Prove it.
Jesus Christ, Paul. Should I tell them about Prague, or do you want to trust me on this one?
Jericho was Clive Barker's last attempt to bring his signature storytelling to video games. It's Clive Barker, so the story is top stuff. But also, it's Clive Barker, so the gameplay is going to be average. The guy doesn't traditionally do games, so just chill. The plot followed a team of supernaturally gifted operatives racing against an ex-member determined to unleash an ancient nightmare known as the Firstborn. I know it sounds wild, but it's really, really dope. While the game boasted a compelling narrative and impressive visuals for its time, its potential was squandered by weak gameplay. The combat felt frustrating with unrealistic enemy AI and a reliance on constantly reviving teammates rather than engaging in satisfying gunfights. Despite its atmospheric horror elements, the game ultimately failed to deliver a truly immersive or even enjoyable shooter experience. Shenmue.
Ine-san. Ine-san.
Ryo-san, I'm alright, but Hazuki-sensei...
I'm just going to get this out of the way, just so you all know exactly where I stand and that my bias is made clear. I don't like Shenmue. I'm so sorry, but I've owned it, so now you can't bully me in the comments. Right? Shenmue offers a deliberate gameplay style, but its slow pace can be frustrating for those who prefer more immediate action, or any action. While combat is included, it appears only sparingly, like in this particular entry in the series where players must spend hours in the game before encountering their first fight. The experience is further slowed by an abundance of quick-time events during cutscenes, a mechanic that has been aggressively bullied out of gaming because it stinks. Don't make me sit ready while I'm trying to enjoy a narrative.
Ain't got time for punk kids. Get out of here.
Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines. The only reason this game got a second entry is because of the story. Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines, the weirdest layout for a game title that's ever existed, thrusts players into the dark underworld of vampires, challenging them to carve out their own story. Without giving too much away, it's an unsettling journey that raises the question of whether a vampire can ever truly find happiness, but better than Twilight. While it has a devoted cult following that praises it as a masterpiece, its combat leaves much to be desired. Enemies mindlessly charge into gunfire, get stuck on objects, or shoot from ineffective ranges. It makes it a slog that you only really push through because of the story. Plainscape Torment. Now, occasionally I'll get comments of mispronunciation. Remember guys, we say some things different in Australia. And for us, we've always said Planescape. And I know some people say Planescape, but you're stupid. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, Planescape was the quintessential good story bad game example. The legendary RPG boasts some of the best dialogue in gaming history. However, its storytelling ambition and depth are at odds with its lackluster gameplay, where combat feels trivial to the point of unnecessary, and the only truly engaging mechanic is the previously mentioned dialogue. It's a bad sign when your best gameplay mechanic is dialogue. Even in 1999, Planescape Torment was widely recognized as mechanically weak, sustained almost entirely by a backstory regarded as one of the greatest ever told in gaming. Alpha Protocol. Obsidian Entertainment has developed some of the most acclaimed modern RPGs, including The Outer Worlds. However, not all of their efforts have been flawless. Alpha Protocol, for instance, suffers from significant gameplay issues with clunky shooting mechanics and animations worse than the original launch of Mass Effect Andromeda. Yet, for those willing to overlook its rough edges, the game offers an engaging spy thriller with multiple branching paths. The story is so good, fans are still begging for a sequel.
Over there! Stop the truck! I see him! Bad for you.
Rule of Rose. Even the most devoted fans of the cult survival horror classic Rule of Rose rarely defend its gameplay. I myself remember it fondly as one of the most engaging and unexpectedly shocking horror games of all time. I recently attempted to tackle it again after almost 20 years and found it borderline unplayable. Narratively, Rule of Rose is gripping. Its exploration of trauma and abuse was way ahead of its time. However, mainstream media fixated on its mature, boundary-pushing themes, with some outlets making sensationalized and baseless claims about underage eroticism. And these claims, by the way, inaccurate. Beyond the story, Rule of Rose is a far less compelling experience. The melee combat is awkward and unrefined, backtracking is so excessive, and both issues are made worse by sluggish controls and an uncooperative camera. It felt like Silent Hill on ketamine, positively for the story, negatively for the gameplay. Deadly Premonition. Released in 2010, this open-world survival horror game channels the same unpredictable, off-the-wall energy as Twin Peaks, following an FBI agent investigating the murder of a young woman. And as we know, Twin Peaks isn't for everyone. As a narrative experience, Deadly Premonition is a delightfully bizarre, delightfully off-the-wall, and delightfully twisted experience. In all its eccentricity, it's far more memorable than 80% of the games released today. However, even with the praise I've just given it, the gameplay moves between nightmare and hellscape. Depending on who you ask, Deadly Premonition is either a masterpiece or a complete disaster.
Our town goes mad. To our disdain, unpreventable. So sad.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.